Welcome to this section on the timeline from 100 BC, the first century BC to 13th century CE. This timeline focuses on the kingdoms and empires. Some of these, such as the Roman Empire, were very large, spreading across 3 continents. This was also the time when some of the major religious and the cultural traditions developed. So, this timeline mainly focuses on what are the major kingdoms that existed during this period, and it also looks at what are the changes that have come, especially with regards to the religious and cultural traditions. It is a timeline when the institutions of intellectual activity emerged. As you can observe here, this timeline dates from 100 to 50 BCE, African continent and the European continent. What are the major changes that have occurred? As you can see here in the European timeline, it is the building of the Colosseum in the Roman Empire at its peak, Constantine becoming the emperor who made Christianity as an official religion of the Roman Empire. So, like this, every key point is discussed in the timeline continent wise. You can see here the Vandals from Europe have set up a kingdom in North Africa. So, books were written, ideas traveled across the continents during this period, something that are now part of our everyday lives were used for the first time during this period. Why this time is considered as very crucial, major changes have occurred during this period. It is because one, the books are written where the ideas are consolidated, the ideas are recorded, and that made the ideas to travel across the continents. And in our everyday today life, what we are using now started first in this period only. As we move on further, you can see here the timeline of Asia and South Asia. What are the major changes that have come? The Silk Route, an empire in China developed of the Silk Route from Asia to Europe. Jesus Christ in the Judea, that is in the 1st to 5th century. Then if you come to South Asia, the establishment of the Kushana state in the northwest and Central Asia, the establishment of the Gupta dynasty in 320. Like that, all the major changes which have influenced the history are being recorded in this timeline. As we move further, there is also timeline regarding the changes that happened in American continents and also in Australia as well as the Pacific Islands. So this timeline gives us a basic picture of the major changes which have happened during this period from 1st century BC to 13th century Common Era. So it has given continent wise Asia, South Asia, Africa, Americans, and Australia. We forgot the key player, that is Europe. So there are different timelines for different continents. To know the major changes which happen, timelines are very helpful for us. Empire across the 3 continents, that is the Roman Empire. What are the sources that give us information about the Roman Empire? As you all know, the Roman Empire covered a vast stretch of territory in Europe, in Asia, and also in Africa. And it includes most part of the European, as it is today a large part of the fertile crescent of the North Africa. That's why this Roman Empire is known as an empire across the 3 continents. So now we are going to look at what are the sources to understand about the Roman history. What are the sources that we have that give us information about the Roman history? The Roman historians have a rich collection of sources to go on, which can be broadly divided into three groups. So we have three types of resources. One, the text written documents. Two, the documents. Three, the material remains. So we have three types. One is text, next is documents, and the next one is material remains. The textual sources include histories of the period written by the contemporaries. They were usually called as annals because the narrative was constructed on year by year basis, letters, speeches, sermons, laws, and so on. How a text source is made? It has various things. First of all, it is a collection of the histories written by whom? The contemporaries. So the contemporaries means who lived at the same time. If you have to take an example, Narendra Modi is the contemporary of Joe Biden or Donald Trump. At the same time, when you are in the same place or different places, that is called as contemporaries. Those people are called as contemporaries. So we call the textual resources as annals. Why we call them as annals? Because they are constructed on year by year basis. Annually, annuals, annals. So what all it contains? What all they check? They check the letters, speeches, sermons, laws of the period, and so on. These are the main resources to make a text source of history. The next important source for us for history is the documentary sources. They include mainly the inscriptions, as you can see here, the inscriptions, papyri. You can see the papyri here, the paper. Inscriptions were usually cut on stone, so a large number survive in both Greek and Latin. So, what are the dominant languages that the inscriptions are found? One is Greek, the other one is Latin. Mostly they are found on the inscriptions and also on the papyri. The papyri, what is the papyri now? The papyri was a reed-like plant, as you can see here, the reed-like plant that grew along the banks of river Nile in Egypt and was processed to produce a writing material that was very widely used in everyday life during that period. So they used to write like this. This is the document which is found, archaeological evidence. This is the plant from where it is made, that is the papyrus. So this plant leaves are used to do this one. And where is it found? It is found on the banks of river Nile in Egypt. Thousands of contracts, account, letters, and the official documents survive on the papyrus. As you can see here, what are this papyrus containing? It contains the contracts, accounts, letters, and also the official documents, which were published by the scholars known as papyrologists. Those who write on the documents are called as papyrologists. The document is papyrus tree, which has come papyrus. Material remains include a very wide assortment of items that mainly archaeologists discover, for example, through excavation, field survey, like the buildings, monuments, or the other kind of structures, pottery, coins, mosaics, or even the landscape, the aerial photography. So you can see the monumental archaeological evidence constructions here, which are found here. These are the material remains what we have. So mainly we have three types of evidences. One is text, that is nothing but the annals. Then we have papyrus, the documents, inscriptions, and material remains which were found by the archaeologists. So these are the main sources which give us information about the Roman Empire.